Every year, thousands of students step onto campus full of dreams. Dreams of graduation caps, good jobs, and better lives. Beyond the buzz of university life, a silent crisis brews. One that rarely makes headline, one that hides in the shadows of lecture halls and dorm rooms. Hunger, not hunger for knowledge, but the kind that crawls into empty stomachs. That dull concentration that forces students to choose between printing assignment and eating dinner. In this documentary, we walk the path of students who battle hunger in pursuit of their degree. We ask, what does it mean to learn while starving? Who is responsible? And what can be done? Hunger is not only physical. It eats away dignity, concentration, and mental health. And for many, it is not a one-time event, it's a daily battle. Today, we have the privilege of hearing first-hand accounts from students who have faced these challenges during their pursuit of higher education. In their stories, shed light on the profound impact of hunger on academic performance, mental health, and overall well-being. Spoke to undergraduates across different departments, those brave enough to share their truth.
Kwa majina naitwa Ezekiel Opio, a third year student taking degree in Bachelor of Medicine and Surgery. These I'll be surviving like a comrade in JKUAT. Sasa ndo nimeamka saa 5. Yeah, I'm combining lunch and breakfast. That's the only way we survive in campus. So you guys, as you can see, sasa ndo nachukua lunch yangu na breakfast yangu. Yeah, life has not been easy, has not been soft for me. Yeah, nimekuwa tu nikistruggle, ni ngumu kupiga simu nyumbani juu saa zingine unatumia pesa ujui vile inaisha ama maybe saa zingine utumiwi. Na it has been hard for me since joining, like say I'm in third year, since joining it has been hard for me. Yeah, as I've told you, like a comrade in JKUAT, ndo the only means that I can afford, the only thing that I have here that I survive with. Niko na kettle yangu, hii mkate nilinunua juzi na ikulaga mkate for 4 days, nakula kidogo kidogo. Alafu coffee yangu nilinunua kitambo, so hivyo ndo na survive na this meal a day.
I'm Joshua, student at JKUAT 3.2. I'm taking bachelor's degree of mass communication. So manze kukaa hapa shule nawaambia ni shida. You face a lot of challenges, sakido sana sana. You see sometimes I depend on HELB ambayo ina delay juu ya shida zenye zimekuwa ya new funding model. So time when ina delay unapata I'm hustling nafanya job zingine ndo at least nijiprovidie, of which inani affect kimasomo. Unapata naanza kupata masomo juu kiateni makila zingine juu nafaa niende job nipate pesa yenye itanieka na sawa ya kulipa rent. And mwenye kikuja unapata ndo nalipa nayo fee na sustain kwa vitu zingine. So being a comrade is a very big challenge kwa sasa watu wenye wanadu.
Eze and Joshua are trying to explain how they do survive in campus. And here are the breakdown of the effect of hunger among students living in hostel. Some do miss classes, we have reduced motivation, difficulty in concentration, we have diseases, we have sleeping problems. All of these are caused by hunger.
My name is Consolata Vanessa, a student from JKUAT studying Bachelor of Commerce, specializing in accounting. Basically, when you talk about hunger, I think hunger has affected almost everyone who is staying in hostel. But in my case, it has affected my studies because sometimes you can't go to class. You find it difficult to go to class because you can't concentrate on your work, and also I think you can. Okay, personally, I can't even do something that is constructive because I am always thinking about how I can satisfy myself on my based on. I think it has affected me a lot of times because sometimes lecturers want you to buy books and also you also have to pay other essentials. So you have to sacrifice the meals in order for you to get those textbooks and also to buy those essentials based on food. So in a day I can take one meal that is served because I have to sacrifice my breakfast and also my lunch because of my financial. I can't meet all those meals in a day, so I have to do supper. Yes, in my performance academically, I think my grades are lower, and one of the things that contribute to it is hunger because I can't even concentrate. I think my stress levels actually they are usually high because hunger issue is one of the things that no one can really like to have. You can't concentrate, you can't do anything that is constructive. So I usually have a lot of stress, and this is one of the things that also make my mental health to be in a problem because I think even my mental capacity is at danger. I can't concentrate, I can't do anything that is constructive, and sometimes even my friends are not coming along to help me to curb it. So I think it is something that can be addressed to students, especially. I'm not comfortable, but with the time, I think I'll get enough courage to approach them and tell them about my situation. I think it's about fear. I'm afraid how they'll take me, and also I just I lack enough confidence to approach them and tell them about my results. I think university can open that program that students can access mess freely and eat those meals without them struggling to get their finances to purchase them. So if they assist the student in offering for them free meals, I think that program will be addressed and students will be very constructive in their classwork and they'll perform well.
People talk about hunger, but hunger is just a very, simple thing to believe. Okay, personally, I believe hunger can actually lead to a lot of things. Number one, hunger can actually affect as much as academics. And personally, when you are actually hungry, that means a lot of things that you can actually not do at some point. Because I think as we address hunger, we must be very much critical in a way by that we are at least able to ensure that as students in school, we actually address it in a good way and at some point offer solutions to it. Because we find in class, we find people not concentrating, and as much as they actually concentrate, we get them that they're actually just there because they actually need it for the lesson, and even sometimes they are there because they actually need maybe to do a cut and maybe if a cut will happen, but they actually suffer. You see, not everyone in school is actually able to provide for themselves and have parents who can actually provide for themselves. So you find that you have very difficult moments dealing with also people and friends because they'll not open up and tell themselves something that is so much hard. People talk about mental health, whereby you think that it's an easy thing, but hunger can actually also lead to mental health because once you are actually not stable in your stomach, you find it hard for you to be actually stable upright because of hunger. So you find that it's so much easy for you, for you to actually deal with the mental issues that are actually passing across, which is part of it can be hunger. Okay, I think hunger can actually also lead to someone being like mentally deteriorated and also reducing the self-esteem, because going to people and you're actually hungry becomes so much hard, because expressing yourself is also so much hard. You also find it hard because at some point, the stomach will actually mislead you from grumbling. So not be so much comfortable with people. So relations with people will also change in a way whereby that associating with them will become like so much hard, because you fear for yourself, you fear for your self-esteem, you fear for maybe your stomach to just grumble out, you see. So it actually brings out a lot of things in hand. As well as for hunger, you see, you can find a way whereby that at some point associating yourself with the real world becomes so much easier, because you find it hard to approach even someone and even just get something out of it. When it comes to academia, hunger can actually lead you to even sometimes not shame, because number one, you lack focus, because the mind actually works in the stomach. When the stomach is empty, I'm pretty sure in terms of academia, the mind will also actually not be able to concentrate, or rather have a span, a long span for actually concentrating. So it will actually lead to a more disadvantage to someone, because they not have time to concentrate, and this will actually lead to a poor maybe deterioration in the brain. So I think hunger is actually a very tough and critical topic that should actually be handled out even in the university, so that to ensure that those people who are actually going through a lot are also stimulated.
We spotted random two campus girls, and they narrate to us how anger has affected their journey of pursuing degree and how they are coping with it. And what are the student leaders saying? Student leaders are actively addressing hunger, advocating for change, and implementing solutions within the communities and beyond, often through initiatives like food banks, awareness, and collaboration with the local organization.
My name is Miriam Jerry. I am an aspiring student leading the university, and a mental health advocate and enthusiast. For this case, I'd perceive food insecurity to be like the lack of food on a constant or regular basis. So one essential thing that we should realize is that food is very important for us to get energy and for us to be healthy and mentally stable. So the lack of food, or rather the lack of something to eat, means that automatically you lack energy. And in a school setup, you need that energy so that you're able to do your daily activities, so that you're able to study, so that you're able to do quite a number of things. And in my own opinion, the lack of food security within the institution means that number one, the students will not have enough energy to basically do their day-to-day activities, whether it is reading, studying, whether it's playing. And also aside from that, if you're not healthy physically, that automatically means that you're not going to be well mentally. It all triples. It has a ripple effect on all these other things. Some of the most hidden are usually what happen mentally. Physically you'll see the person growing frail, you'll see them growing weak, you'll see them starting to show traces of bones, but you don't see the psychology behind what's happening in their minds. You don't see how it has like a psychological effect. The lack of energy, the lack of food, it basically has like a ripple effect on your psychological well-being. Because there is also this mentality that one might develop, why my friends are able to afford food and I myself am not. So it also kind of drains them mentally. And I think the mental perspective is what will be considered as the hidden effect of the lack of food in the institution. First, it starts from the perspective where there is almost the lack of intent to actually help these students who are in need. Because if we know that there are students who are suffering and they are in need of maybe food or something of the sort, why aren't we stepping out there and why aren't we willing to help them? So can we actually be more intentional about trying to help them, so that even if we're not able to give them at least 3 meals a day, we're also able to give them something to eat every once in a while. So the lack of intent for me is probably the biggest barrier. Lack of intent from our student leaders, and also say from that, even from the friends we keep, they're not intentional about helping us. So can we be more intentional going on? I've gotten to interact with a number of students who've been affected badly, and unfortunately, there was a student who fainted in the middle of the school. And when we got to the hospital, the only reason why they were there was because they hadn't eaten for some time, which was quite unfortunate.
We ate to visit student center, where students do purchase their food stuff. And this is what we found. Kwa majina ni George Kamau, and maisha imekuwa ngumu hapa. Vitu zimepanda bei, sukari imepanda bei, kila kitu imepanda bei. Na students wengi wanakujanga hapa tu wanakopa, wengine warudi, wengine wanakuja hapa mpeka hawa ndaleta pesa kesho ishi. So maisha imekuwa ngumu, economy imekuwa ngumu, wanafunzi wanalia. Wengine unaona tu room unawapea tu kitu hata kama watarudi. So tunaomba economy ikiwa vizuri, kila kitu kitashuka na kila kitu kitakuwa sawa. George Kamau, who owns a shop at the student center, is talking about reduced purchasing power as many students are broke. He also talks about pressure on offer discounts as many students are broke and can't afford to buy something. He also talks about the state of the economy and how it does affect the student. Food hunger is a growing issue in Kenyan universities. While higher education symbolizes opportunity and growth, many students are silently battling the harsh reality of food insecurity. Some attend classes on empty stomach, skip meals to save money, or depend on low-quality food of mess. Rising tuition fee, accommodation cost, and the high cost of living have left many students with little or no money for proper meals. This lack of inadequate nutrition not only affects their health, but also impacts concentration, academic performance, and overall well-being. No student should have to choose between learning and eating. Solving food hunger on campus is not a charity. It's a commitment to equal opportunity and a better future for all.
Hunger in universities has not just been about the delayed loans, but it should be ensuring that every student has the fair chance to succeed. There should be no any student who should choose between education and survival. In order to conquer this big problem in universities of hunger, the following solutions should be taken. Number one, HELB disbursement. The government should make sure that the HELB is disbursed in time in order to make sure that no student has run out of food. Number two, bursaries. The government should ensure that every student has a bursary in order to minimize the money that is used in fees so that they can buy food. Number three is food assistance. The government and the school, that is the universities, they should cooperate in order to provide enough food to the comrades in order to overcome this hunger in university.